Guys, there was some really cool imagery we saw tonight that you can't see with your naked eye when you're doing this smoke experiment. And Eric, I'm hoping you can help explain what I think I saw in those moments. I mean, this is Metaframe technology, and it's showing us a different look at what was happening.
Yeah, you know, in this case, we're using the tool to show us how things are changing physically in that space that we don't expect to see above the triangle.
I know when we're in the center of the triangle and you look at the Metaframe data, the smoke spreads out from the smoke machine and just goes in a cone-shaped pattern away from us. But if you'll look closely, you'll see some points where the flow is moving and then it immediately, abruptly drops. And then there's another spot in it where over time you see a spot that sort of paints itself a different color tone, which means a different kind of change is happening than with the rest of the smoke. And that spot is right where we saw the blob.
If there is something there invisible to the eye, is that smoke going around whatever is there, like a blob?
Well, it's important to remember it's giving us one vantage point, and without multiple cameras looking from many different angles, it's hard to really tell.
If you wanted to do this experiment precisely and see it from all angles, you'd have to set up something like what's known as bullet time, where you have cameras all the way around in every angle, so you could create a full 3D model of every second of this. And you know, we're actually thinking about that and maybe deploying that type of technology here on the ranch to study maybe the triangle or the bubble, and we'll see.
Oh, that's exciting. So looking back on this particular experiment, what's your takeaway in terms of trying to define the blob?
A lot of our experiments are what we would consider active experiments, energetic. You know, this passive experiment that is using the smoke as an indicator tells us that, yeah, we do have something going on above the center of the triangle, and it motivates coming back to this again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Also, a very fascinating image was captured in the high-speed cameras. Where do we sit now in terms of what that might be?
The question in this case is whether we're seeing something natural or perhaps an object that's rotating as it moves through the space. So we spent some time you know, kind of debating whether we're looking at a bird or something else.
We don't have any scientific data that can tell us that it is a bird, that it is a bug, that it is an orb or a UFO. All we have is that video.
Is there anything about its placement, speed, time that it happened, given what you're doing in the experiment, that make it maybe interesting?
Well, my brain goes straight to bird or bug. That's what my brain wants it to be, right? But I have learned through this investigation that we do ourselves a disservice if we automatically just assign it, because there's been times where my brain just instantly assigned to some mundane reason that find out later it actually wasn't that.
That's why we didn't throw it in the garbage can from the start.
Got it. Yeah.
And let me throw something else that's you know, a monkey wrench in the works. We know for a fact that our own clandestine organizations make drones and objects that look like birds and bugs and cats and dogs and so on. And so why would not more advanced civilizations do something similar?
Yes. Man, every week I think it can't get more incredible, and it just does. You guys keep exceeding expectation. Any tease for what we can look forward to next week?
So next week brings us to a return to Homestead 2 with the shaman, and also a very special guest visitor, the governor of the state of Utah.
Oh, man. Well, that's better than a tease. Thank you very much, and thank you guys again.